Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, whoa, whoa, that's not good. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. I didn't have my music on. Good morning. Oh, I didn't have that. That's why. Oh, Lord. How's it going, everybody? I need to do something. Hold on. Good morning. Good morning. Hold on. Let's see if I can get the music on. Some music on. Hello, everybody. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. I didn't set myself up very well this morning. I hope that you're doing well. Let's see, turn this up a little bit. Oh. You know, I'm obsessed with the lighting. Let's do this. Hello, Christine. Good to see you. How's it going? Good to see you. Okay, now we got it going. What's happening? Ireland. How's it going? Hi, Kyrie. Now we're going to have the battle right now. The battle of the cats trying to open the window. Probably. How are you, everybody? How's it going? Out of coffee. I've been up since 6 o'clock. How's it going? How are you? All right. Thank you, Kyrie. You were up early today too. Yeah, I need to what's it called? To download that and put it up separately. That talk for sure. I did put a new TikTok up today. If you saw it, I'm going to be doing. Now we're on number 5. But I'm doing short little versions for TikTok. So if you want to go over there, you can see that. That'd be great. All right. So today we are number 5 in our decisions based on fear. So, hello. My Yorkie has been sick. I know. Early, give him his medication. The moon was. I know. I saw the moon last night. I actually went out. That sounds like I never go out. No, I went out last night because I had to do some things. And I went to the store and I saw it and I was like, whoa. So one of the things I had to do and didn't have to do is I got flour and yeast because I made baguettes. I made baguettes last night and then this morning I made them. Okay, so I have to, tell you I'm not really a baker, but I tried and they're pretty okay. They came out pretty good. This very simple recipe, super simple, but it sits for 8 to 12 hours overnight and then you bake it. I think that it was a little, I'll show you, hold on. They're pretty good actually, but I think I have to, be a little bit more. So here, look, baguette. It's pretty crunchy. It didn't rise enough, but it's still pretty darn good. They're still pretty darn good, I thought. So a super simple recipe. See, they're not very thick. They need to open up, puff a little bit more. And I think I might have not used enough yeast. But I followed the instructions, although I tried to half it. And then, I halved it. And then it's all it is flour, salt, yeast, and water, which is basic, So I halved the recipe. And then I put the water in and it was so watery. I was like, this doesn't look like the... So I think that I don't know what I did. But anyway, I had to add more flour, and I think that adding more flour, it changed the, you know how baking is a real science, right? But it's pretty good. And you know how to keep your baguettes. You put it in a paper bag, and then you put the paper bag in a plastic bag. You know that you keep your bread much longer. Just saying. Just saying. All right, so that's your. There's a recipe on YouTube, and I followed it, but I don't think I did it right. But it's still good. Still good. So, all right, let me put this away. Hold on. Okay. Anyway, all right, everybody, let's sit quietly. If it's a carb, I'll like. Yeah. I love to cook. So, it's too bright. Whatever. All right, let's sit quietly. Thank you for the thumbs up, everybody. We're going to sit quietly for a couple minutes, and then we're going to get into our stuff for today. So let me pull this up. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Boom, boom, boom. Into that. Okay, here we go. Breathe. Take a few deep breaths. And open your eyes when you're ready. All right, everybody. Okie dokie. All right, welcome everyone. If you're new here, my name is Max Ryan, and what we talk about here is abiding non-dual awareness. Besides baguettes, we talk about abiding non-dual awareness. And today we're marking our halfway through a series, and this series is based on making decisions based on fear. In the illusion, there is a whole bunch of things going on that aren't really going on because it's all an illusion. But the character, your character, my character, Joe's character, Jane's character, all the characters are making decisions. In actuality, there is no decision to be made, but we're not going to talk about that today. We will talk about that at some point, I'm sure. But in the illusion, you can either have a happy dream or a nightmare. So you can have a happy dream, and it doesn't mean that things in the illusion are going to change. It means that you are different in the illusion. That's the most important thing. It's the most important thing. And you have an invitation to have a different experience of your life in the illusion. So when you look at how you make decisions, that's one way to start to see how the character is staying in the illusion or in the dream state. You don't need to wake up from the dream, but why not? Why not? Because it is a dream and it's all a game. So I was just noticing, I mean, a lot of people are noticing this. Well, I think a lot of people are noticing, but with what just happened, with the election, I was noticing how I took a break. I'm not watching news, but I'm getting enough of it, so it's fine. And I'm not a big proponent of saying, I'm not watching news or I'm not watching. It's just that there's a self-care element, which I'm sure you understand. But I'm getting all the stuff. And I realized, I think it was this morning, I was watching something on TikTok. And it's something that feels like, oh, you should panic. Oh, boy. There is not one scintilla of this character that's panicked. It's like, oh, that's happening. And it's not a dissociation. It's not dissociation. It's not like a spiritual bypass by any means. It's just that this character has practiced and understands what's true and what's not true, and what's important and what's not important. And from that, there becomes a objectivity, not a dissociation, but an objectivity. And that objectivity really puts you in a place where you're not conditioned. You're not conditioned by things, by events, by what people say, by what the government's doing, by what Jane is doing, by what your finances are doing, right? And when there is a training in that mind, then it's really it's not left. There's nothing left there. There's hardly any character left, right? So there's not for this character. For this character, there's hardly any character left. So there just is what is. That's what's happening. And so I was really realizing that this morning. I was like, this is so good. This is so good. So, all right. Hello, Ben. Nonduality feels right. Fear does not. That's exactly right. And then there is no wrong, right, Ben? Good to see you, man. Don't take the bait. Yeah. And you know what? You don't even see it as bait anymore, right, Ben? There's no bait. You're just like, that's happening. Okay. I'm going to go have a good day. I'm going to make some baguettes. I'm going to do my thing. If there is a call to do something, then it happens. Then you're like, I guess I'm doing this. This is what's happening, right? You look at my social media, you can see the inner workings of this character, or the shreds of this character. But it doesn't matter, right? Would you say we have no enemies? No, everything. Well, listen, Ben and everybody, this is important. There is nothing right and there is nothing wrong. There is no enemy and there is no hero. It's how you perceive it. In this book, which we refer to all the time here, right, everybody? In this book, the second lesson of A Course in Miracles is, I'm giving everything the meaning it has for me. And when your character gives a meaning to something, you're screwed. Well, you're not screwed. You stay in that. And so when you say enemy, Ben, enemy is a meaning. Why do you think we have war? Why do you think? Because war is a winner and a loser. Good guy, bad guy. Honestly, nobody ever wins a war. No one wins war at all. The winner doesn't win. The loser doesn't lose. It's just what's happening. And it's all stupid. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous, really. And it's just an example of how the separated ego mind that perceives it has to stay separate. We're better, we're worse, they're better, I'm worse, all of that bullshit. So really, there is no enemies. There are no enemies. It's kind of like, people are who they are. And you can choose to see them as an enemy, or you can choose to see them as a friend, or you can just choose to see them for exactly what they are. That's it. All right? Hope that answers. Ben? Christine says, what's sad is when people accuse you of not caring because you're not panicking. Yeah, that's happened a long time for me. I really realized that. You're welcome, Ben. Here's the deal. I realized that many years ago, because I've been doing this work for many years, but it wasn't until about 6 or 7 years ago that something really shifted. But it doesn't matter. But many years ago, I started thinking, I'm supposed to be sad when people die. I'm not sad. I'm supposed to be crying over that. I'm not crying. And then I'm like, oh God, am I a cold fish? Am I unconnected? Am I doing a spiritual bypass or whatever? Am I disassociating? No. It's not disassociation. You're seeing it for what it is. I'm going to bring this book up again. This book teaches you are not a body and there is no death. And when there is a knowledge to no one that there is no death and that you're not a body, then when death happens, it's like, oh, okay. It's fine. It's not good and it's not bad. It's what it is. All right. Take a big deep breath, everybody. Sorry, we're talking. No, it's good. Okay, so today we're going to do number 5. We're doing 10 of these, 10 points about making decisions based on fear. So let me just pull it up. I got to make sure that I'm on the right track here. Where is it? Come on now. Okay. So we have I'm going to review the ones that we have right now. I got to pull it up. Okay, here we are. Okay. All right. So number 1, let's just review. We've done 4 so far. Number 1 is when you make a decision based in fear in the illusion, it enforces a sense of separation. And separation, what? Equals suffering. You're separate. It's you against the world. It's you against your parents. It's you against poverty. It's you against your weight. It's all subject-object, right? So the whole subject-object thing gets really exacerbated when you make choices based on fear. Okay, that was the number 1. Number 2 was fear breeds an attachment to the outcome. So the character gets like, it's got to be like this, it's got to be like this, it's got to be like this. I don't want that outcome. I don't want that result. I only want this result. My company used to be called Attract Positive Results until a few years ago where I was like, no, that's bad. Because then, on some level, you're looking for a result. No result. When you make a decision based on fear, you exacerbate this thing about outcomes. Bad outcome, good outcome. Number 3 was fear, making a decision based on fear, distorts your perception. The character's perception is distorted anyway. I mean, it just is. But when you continuously make decisions based on fear, I don't want that, I only want that, all that stuff, then the ability to see things clearly as they are really gets very, very far away. Okay? Number 4, which we did yesterday, was that making decisions based on fear totally reinforces the ego's identity. This is the separation. And the ego is, I'm right, always. The ego is always right. And also the ego is all about lack. Nothing's ever enough for the ego. So I know this isn't a word, but I like to use it. It concretizes the egoic mind. It's a separate mind, right? It's about competition. It's about judgment, all of that stuff. So those are the first 4 that we did, okay? If you're new here, I just want to tell you, you can put in the chat anything that you want as we're speaking, and I will I'll address it and we'll have a conversation. Okay, take a deep breath. All right, here we go. Number 5, making decisions based on fear. This is kind of like the one about outcomes, but it blocks what is. It blocks the acceptance of what's happening right here. And right here is all that's happening. So when you make a decision based on fear, you can't, this is see, they all kind of like meld together a little bit, but you cannot, there's no way to get in touch with this, what's happening. And it's not that you can't, because that's all that's happening is what's happening right now. That's it. So when people say, I need to be in the present moment, I need to be in the present moment, that's just, how they say it. There's no way you can't be in the present moment. There's no way you can't be in the present moment. The present moment is all that's happening. That present moment that just happened, and that one, and that one, and that one that just happened, that's all that's happening. Everything else is a story. Everything else is an illusion. Everything else is usually a fear-based, unless when you start to remove enough of the shit, when you start to see through it, that there are no enemies and there are no winners, there are no losers, and you're not a piece of shit, and you're also not the best thing since sliced bread, since sliced baguettes. When that starts to just drift away, what's right here becomes so obvious. I say to students all the time, you might have heard me say this before, what we're talking about here is the most obvious thing in the world. In A Course in Miracles, it says, I'll use this, it says, God is closer than your own breath. Often in these lives and in my work, where we talk about the fish looking for the water. It's like telling you to look for the oxygen right now. It's so close. You're part of the oxygen. How are you going to find oxygen? It's right here. You can take a breath, but it's already here. And when you make decisions based on fear, it seems like, doesn't really happen, you get pulled out of what's happening. Right? What's that phrase? Can't stop and smell the roses. Stop. In my private class right now, we're looking at the egoic mind's need to get somewhere, that it needs to be over there. It needs to be over there. Well, it doesn't need to be over there, and it isn't over there. There is nothing over there, right? Think about, we always talk about Wizard of Oz, right? So what's the first song that she sings in that movie? What's the first song she sings in that movie? By God, do you mean creator of our souls or creator of the universe? So God is a loaded word, Ben. God is a loaded word. This character doesn't like to use God a lot. What this character perceives here, what this is, I call it pure life itself. Life itself. We are emanations of life. We're all part of life. We're not life itself, but we're all part of it. There's nowhere where you end and life begins. There's nowhere life ends and you begin. I just changed the word God for that. In the Course in Miracles, it says there's nowhere where God ends and you begin, and there's nowhere where you begin and God ends. It's all the same. There's no difference. It's kind of like if you were to look at, molecular structure. It's like this is not a what's the thing? This is a porous layer. But in this layer life is going in and out, oxygen is going in and out, all that stuff, right? So that's how I use God. That's how I use God. That makes sense. That's for me. But you do what you do, because I'm not right. Definitely not right. But that the perception is here. So when you make, when it says that God is closer than your own breath, when you make decisions based on fear, the awareness of that kind of goes away. It's hard to find it. It's harder to find it. And when you see people that are really, really, really in the dream, they are so connected to the future and so connected to the past, and they don't want to be here. They want to be somewhere else. Maybe you can relate to that. They want to be somewhere else. No one put in the chat what's Dorothy's first song in The Wizard of Oz. What is Dorothy's first song in The Wizard of Oz? Come on, I have to push you all. What's her first song in The Wizard of Oz? You must know it. You've got to know it. Somewhere Over the Rainbow. So that story is the story of living in the dream state, where it's like, wait, this isn't good. Somewhere over the rainbow, there'll be skies of blue, da 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 da. So it's the whole journey of that story starts with that thing of, it'll be better over there because here is not good enough. And what's the theme of it? There's no place like home. There's no place like now. She dreams, I got to go over there. And then when she gets over there, she got to get back home. This is what the whole story of the separated self is doing. So it's trying to get somewhere else, but then deep inside, it's longing for what you already have. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. The more you make decisions based on fear, the more you're going to be singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow instead of going, oh, there's no place like home. Take a deep breath. Forgive me, I haven't read Course in Miracles. So God equals all that is. No problem, Ben. It's all good. So here's the deal. Course in Miracles says God consistently. This character, I've done this for over 40 years. I don't believe the experience is that what is being said as God. First of all, it's like this word, love. It's got a million different interpretations, right? So I like to just not use that word because it brings up separation. God does. So I think you understand where I'm coming from. There's nowhere where life ends and you begin, and there's nowhere where you begin and life ends. It's all a continuous. It's all in the flow, baby. Let's go with the flow. Okay, take a deep breath. That's exactly right. Christine is a longtime student of A Course in Miracles, and you don't just read it. This is a spiritual study, right? It's a study. It's a spiritual mind training, really. So there you go. Okay. What's coming up for you? I will say this right now. If you would like to make a donation, I'd greatly appreciate. Oh, I didn't even say hello to the replay viewers. Hello, replay viewers. Good to see you. Please put your comments in below. I'd love to see you. I'd love to talk to you. If you'd like to make a donation, you can always give a super chat. If anything here floats your boat or blows your skirt up or whatever they say, then I greatly appreciate it. This is what I do for a living. If you'd like to know anything more about me, please go to my website, and definitely make sure that you sign up on my Substack, because every Sunday, I send out an article that's based on these talks and abiding non-duality, right? So you just go to, it's below, maxryan.substack.com, and sign up there. You'll get free articles, but then you can also become a member. And if you're a member there, it's very inexpensive, $8 a month. And once a month, we do a Zoom meeting, and we all gather and we talk, and it's a private situation, and that supports the work that I'm doing. And a lot of those articles are right now being culled and looked at, so that I can make my new book, which is all about reflections on non-dual awareness. So, all right. Today's the day I can't stay very long, because I have to prepare for my next class. But is there anyone want to say or ask anything? What are you taking away from our work today? If you're new, I'd love to hear from you. What are you taking away from our work today? Anybody? Love to hear from you. We'll play one little song, and then we're gonna go. Wait, where's my? Let's play our pair song. I have got to get more music. I should have my baguette. Anyone want to say anything? Or just watch me act like a fool? Act a fool. You're welcome. Thanks, Ben. All right, everybody. I'll see you on Tuesday. Make sure you go on my Substack. A new article comes out tomorrow. It's going to be the third about the existentialist writers that have affected me and made me learn more about non-duality. Tomorrow's article I've been working on is it's real light, about Friedrich Nietzsche, and it's all about God is dead. Speaking of, Ben. So, all right, everybody, I love you so much. Please take care of yourself. Do something kind for someone today. You'll feel better. I guarantee. All right, everybody. I'll see you soon. I'll see you Tuesday for sure. Okay. Au revoir. À tout à l'heure.